My name is Madison Meach, and I'm from Ottawa, Ontario. Life has not always been this promising for me. It has never been easy. As a kid, I moved around constantly, and keeping it short, I ended up moving to Perth, Ontario, and that is where my life-changing journey started. Shortly after moving to Perth, my mom, a devoted single mother, lost her job. She slipped into an overwhelming sadness over the thought that she couldn't provide for me or for my brother the way we wanted or needed. I remember the days without breakfast, the crying, and the constant fighting. I remember my mom trying so hard to smile, but it was like her smile became a memory. That is when my mom received a phone call from my school saying I had been selected to go to camp. My mom was finally smiling again, and I was overwhelmed with joy. This was what I needed. I counted down the days and finally embarked on my residential year in Nova Scotia, which I thought was going to be my first and last year at camp. A couple of years later, I received a letter confirming my acceptance into the youth leadership program. I remember getting on the bus with strangers, but getting off 10 days later, unable to release my embrace from my new, lifelong friends. Year after year, I boarded the bus and the airplane with the same anticipation as the years before, so excited to see old friends and make new ones. Returning from my L2 year, my second summer at camp, I found out I was leaving my home in Perth to move to Ottawa, and this changed everything for me. I moved to Ottawa, and I slipped into the same sadness my mom had in Perth. I refused to make friends, I refused to socialize, and I became everything I wasn't supposed to be. I skipped school, my grades dropped, and I had the worst attitude imaginable. One day, as I was skipping school, I saw all the pictures from my session online. Seeing those pictures made me remember everything camp taught me about life and everything camp taught me about myself. Those pictures made me remember that I have to accept things as they are, because at camp, if it's raining, it will continue to rain. But I was given a choice. The choice to either dance in the rain or I could complain and be miserable. So from then on, I decided to dance in the rain. I made Ottawa my friend and made friends with my peers and have remained on honor roll ever since. I felt like nothing could ever get in my way again. I conquered Ottawa and I was so happy, returning to L3, my third summer at camp, with the biggest smile on my face. Although I felt invincible, the summer of grade 11 came and my life changed completely. My dad sat me down and told me he had been diagnosed with ALS, commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. He explained to me that the doctor said he had 2 to 4 years left with me and my family. This was news that no one can prepare for. It shattered me. I didn't know if I could face another mountain. But yet again, camp brought me back. I received my letter to self a few months later, and I remembered again the biggest lesson camp has taught me. I have a choice. I can make the most of the time I have left with my dad, or I could be miserable during that time. I could be a leader for my family, or I could succumb to the thought of life without my dad. I could accept my amazing support system, or I could push them away. Again, I did what I learned at camp. I chose to be a positive role model for my family and for my dad. I started fundraising, and I raised over $1,000 for ALS. And I also put a smile on my dad's face that is still smiling back at me today. With everything in my life, I really don't think I would be in a similar position without camp and without the support of people like you. I wouldn't be a positive leader or have such a bright future. Camp has taught me life lessons that couldn't have come from anywhere else. Without the constant, overwhelming love from counselors, staff, and my amazing fellow campers, I would not be who I am today. People think that camp is just about being outdoors and pushing yourself physically, but it is so much more. It is about forming the closest relationships imaginable with people from all over North America. It is about pushing yourself not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. Camp pushes you to open up, face your fears, break down any comfort zone you have, and be the person you were always meant to be. Camp is everything to me, and I'm sure it means the exact same to every camper that has been to a Tim Hortons Children's Foundation camp. Completing this program has been the greatest accomplishment in my life, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me. Thank you.